feet. Touchdown, Ravens!
What a play by the Ravens. It's going to result in a touchdown. Play action. Pass is caught. That's going to be a first down for the Ravens. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Ravens! And the crowd goes wild.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 8 of the Play Action Podcast. I'm the host, quarterback coach Garrett Stapleton.
I'm the wide receivers coach, Coach Lamont Johnson.
I'm Jonathan Coddington, head coach. Appreciate all that have watched. I know we've got a lot of alums out there that have been watching. We've got some of our current players and their families. We've got some recruits. Just a few random fans that love Raven football as well too. Appreciate you guys sticking with us and watching through. And as we continue just to give a little bit more of an insight to our program and kind of what we do here, how we do things. Some of our guys. We're excited to bring on one of our captains today, Zaire. One of our defensive backs. Had a good game last week. We'll kind of dive into a little bit more of that. And just continue to talk about some Raven football as we get into some HCAC conference play this next week.
Big boy time.
Yes, sir.
Big boy ball.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm. So, as we turn the page from, non-conference play to conference play, it's been, an interesting, non-conference season for, really the whole conference as everybody's kind of played some new teams, a little bit due to, some team, a team leaving our conference, kind of, leaving everybody to find a new, matchup, within that. We played a couple of teams that we had never played before. Now we're about to get into some teams that we play year in and year out. And, there's a little bit more familiarity of that from a coach's perspective for you guys. What's it like going from playing a team that you've never played before to playing a team that it's like, all right, we've seen these guys before, we know them. What's the difference?
I was going to say comfortability. Obviously, it's not the most fun taking those 9-hour road trips there and back. But playing those conference games where the teams that you're playing, it makes it a little bit more comfortable. And especially in our case, I think we have a great chance every week to go against competition we play. So I'm really excited to get out of conference play and get in conference play for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think through over the decades kind of our conference, there's different teams that have had different runs. I mean, the Ravens have had 13 conference championships over the years. Other teams have had their runs as well too. It's a conference that I think you got to show up and play well every single Saturday, and anything can happen because there's a lot of good football teams in it, a lot of good football players, and I think I'm excited for a competitive game week in and week out here as well too. Obviously, we kick it off to start with Bluffton, and then continue to go from there. The other thing that's been interesting about our schedule this year, front loaded with a lot of away games, backloaded here the second half of the year with a lot of home games. We're on the road this week. We go to Bluffton, and then the last 5, 4 of them are at home. What's the difference of preparing for a road game versus a home game?
I think just literally everything from the moment you wake up, it's just a different feeling. I know for us on home games, we have a walkthrough in the morning, we have breakfast in the morning, we have prayer in the morning. And our Pastor Kerry, former AU football guy, he's a pastor at a church in town. So, I think all of that kind of aids into our home game day experience and our home game day atmosphere. And, when you're on the road, especially with the non-conference games, you kind of don't get some of those things because we got to leave Friday or super early on Saturday. But even on our non-conference road games, we still get to do all of those things that we would do on a home game, on a home game. So, I think that's one big thing that kind of aids into, the conference play. Because when we're out of conference, we're going a little bit farther. We get same-day travel on our away games in conference, which is always good. So, it's just a little bit easier of the flow of the logistics and everything, and it's more so keeping the same routine for our guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. No, I think the routine is definitely important. It is nice in conference. Everybody's, that we play Indiana or Ohio makes it a little bit easier to kind of get to and from. Same thing, I'm sure, for the families. I'll say one thing that's been really cool to see. We had a lot of families come with us to New York. A lot of families travel to Iowa. Travel to Eastern Ohio. Week 2. The support from the the family around us has been awesome, and it's cool seeing, building relationships with, parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, everyone that comes to support. Man, it's been really cool to see, and now I think we'll see the same people, maybe a few more people, but they'll just have to travel, not quite as far, to get to us. So it's been cool to see, kind of those familiar faces, every single week, cheering the guys on.
Yeah, I know it means a lot to the guys, and especially some of those people who are far away from home. Like, we have people from Texas, their families traveling to Iowa, to New York, and it's pretty cool to hear what they do, during their trip. Some people make it a vacation out of it, and have a little date night or something like that. And other people, they just kind of fly in and fly out. But I know it means a lot to the guys just as much as it means to the whole football team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I know one thing I'm, looking forward to about the, some more home games here in the second half of the season. Just getting to see my wife and kids after the game. It's a little tough for them to, with 3 toddlers to get out and, go to some of those away games to get to see them after the game, have them come out of the field. I know they're always excited to see the two of you guys, as well as some of the football players. I think Connor Huffman's their favorite football player right now. So it's like, you gotta love that.
Apparently he's a cheater though.
He is a cheater, is what Roger thinks, but still his favorite. So I don't know what that says about that.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah. So we're the boys are excited to get to watch some football, to get to see a lot of football players, and go from there. But yeah, so I mean, let's kind of top into some game recap. Who were guys that stuck out to you? That made a good play here. Had some good moments. What were some kind of highlights from that last week?
Go ahead.
I was going to say the obvious one is Zaire. I think he's a defensive captain for us, but I think he's made a lot of great plays in the past game. Set our offense up. Offense is kind of struggling in the red zone. Set us up at the 4-yard line for a really nice touchdown pass from Zach to Dietrich. So I think he's been a guy that's kind of stuck out through the whole season so far. Yeah,
interception. There was a big moment on that. Excited to hop in the film room with him here in a few minutes and kind of talk through his thought process through that. Yeah. How about for you, Coach?
I'd say I'll probably go give my hat to Julian. Julian, he's our 5th-year senior. He showed up this weekend with 75 yards this season. 77 yards this previous weekend. So that was his best game so far. And I know he was kind of waiting for his moment to kind of get going and get the juices flowing. So I'm excited, and hopefully he could build off of last weekend, as we start conference play. And then, Dietrich, we had on the show last week. He got in the end zone again, and he's been kicking butt in the weight room, helping out our freshmen, our young guys, out there in the weight room, in our practices, and just doing a really good job of holding people accountable and really showing up every day, making sure guys show up and bring it. So, I'm looking forward to see what those 2 guys do, this week as we start conference play.
And I know last week we kind of talked about the run game kicking up. It was kind of nice to see the pass game kind of turn the page this week. Yeah. Obviously, it was our best game passing the ball, so kind of hoping to build off of that this week and keep it going.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Yeah, I think you're definitely some good, good highlights. Jake Simpson, another defensive captain, leading us in tackles. Definitely guys on both sides of the ball making some good individual ones, special teams, as well too. You mentioned Julian running down, covering punts. We had a few. Elijah St. Pierre, senior punter, had a couple of good punts that got down inside, the 20-yard line. Helped us to win that field position battle. Which kept us there. And as we look at how you win football games, all the big things. There were a lot of things we did good. There were a couple of really big things that we did not obviously do well. You mentioned offensively in the red zone, not converting down there. I mean, that's a big focus as we move forward this next week of having a better plan, executing it better. And in football, there's a lot of big moments, right? But it's not always just like the big play that you think of that are the big moments. It's the normal plays in like the high, kind of the high intensity, the big situations. And when you're down in the red zone, like those are big situations, and just executing, the base stuff, really well, on either side of the ball, it is a big thing, and that could change games, really quickly. As we, did have that touchdown. What was, really cool was that touchdown. We hit it the exact same way Wednesday's practice when we did red zone as we did Saturday, and seeing that carryover, it's like it makes sense. And so providing a little bit more opportunity for that this week, specifically down in the red zone, I think will be really important. And as we just turn the page to these conference opponents, obviously week after week, the game plan might change a little bit differently based upon the team that we're seeing, things like that. But it's all about playing football the right way, playing Raven football, playing our brand, focusing on the things that matter in football. And so those will be some big focuses here this week.
Yeah, and I like what you pointed out that before Dietrich scored his touchdown this weekend, he scored it on Wednesday in our red zone period. And hearing a couple guys missed some plays, and they're all kind of down on themselves, thinking that because they missed that play and that moment, that big play that stopped the offense, or let's say defensive guy, he missed a third down conversion and the offense converted. It's not that one play that lost us the game, or it's not the missed interception that cost us the game. It's doing things throughout the week, doing the small things, the simple things throughout the week that matters, and how you never know which play it is. It could just be the smallest detail, not setting the edge or not getting outside the hash when I'm supposed to. And I think that they're starting to understand that, and that's pretty much the big message is, do simple better this week.
For sure. I think one thing I'm impressed about a lot of our guys about is the ownership that they take, kind of within things, and how much they obviously the more you put into something, the more you're going to feel it, and but there's a lot of ownership there of guys wanting to when it's their opportunity, to make that play, and ownership when they do, and ownership when they don't, and but it takes all of us. It's never one guy that wins a game. It's never one play that wins a game. It's never one guy that loses a game. It's never one play that loses a game. Right. It's the collection of all of us, continuing to push forward, to do things better. And, I think then dealing with the good, dealing with, the hard things, really that translates over to life. And that's some of the conversations, this week too is, what do you do? How do you how do you deal with setback? How do you deal with, defeat? How do you deal with, winning? How do you deal with, when things go really well? Because, life is, yes, some of the things that happen to you, and it's a little bit about the situation, but it's a lot more about the response and how we deal with that afterwards. And so, being able to learn how to deal with some of these big emotions in the context of football, especially in college football, as we invest and spend a lot of time, really just sets us up for practice, in life of being able to, then deal with the hard things. Because, while, dealing with a missed play, with a dropped pass, with a, blown coverage, with a, missed block, with a, whatever it might be, man, it feels so big in the moment. In the grand scheme of things, it's not as big, as dealing with some of the hard things that life is going to throw at you too. And we get to practice how to respond and, help teach these guys how to do that in a really, good way. And so, at the end of the day, that's why we do, why we do this. We do this because we love football. But we do it more because we love these guys, and we want to, help them continue to grow and develop, not just as a champion on the field, but as a champion in life as well too.
And I think, just kind of piggyback up what you said, I think that's the worst thing about those tight losses, or those really close losses, that you're thinking about that one play you could have had, or the one play you missed, versus when you're getting your butt kicked. If it's a blowout, you're not even thinking about that. And and it means a lot more to you when you're putting those hours in, like you said, and you're compiling all those things together. So those tight losses, but like you said, it's about how you come back and how you respond from that.
For sure.
And I could tip my hat to the team this year. The guys are handling the good and the bad a little bit better, and they're continuing to make the choice to show up every day throughout the week. So,
for sure. Well, let's go ahead and bring Zaire on. Let's hop into the film room and kind of talk through some of his plays last week. All right, Zaire, welcome to the film room. Excited to have you on, be able to talk a little bit about your play from last week.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, obviously you came to us last spring, so, not super new to Anderson, but a little bit new. Tell us a little bit about your journey here. What made you come here? What made you want to be a Raven?
So first I was with you at my former school. So as they were going through their things at their school, I was looking for a new home. So obviously I had some connections. So I hit you and Coach Monty up, and I was like, I'm looking somewhere to go, basically. And I know you guys I know what happened last year. I was like, okay, I want to be a part of a program that I can help start something new, turn a new page. So hit you guys up and made that happen. So here I am.
Absolutely. No, I definitely, appreciate you, what you've done to, come in and help build. And, I wish you could have been there, when you first, reached out to Coach Monty. I think I about jumped out of my chair in excitement, when he said that you were interested in coming here. And, obviously it's been great. You got elected captain by your teammates, this year, which is obviously a great honor as they, kind of voted you to lead them, this season. I think they see the work that you, put in, as well as just the demeanor that you carry, that, you know how to go to work and, what the business of college football is like and what it takes. And so I think that we've seen that, come about in some of the plays that you've made so far this year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you've kind of gone every other game now with an interception. I need you to break that streak because we need another one this week. But let's go ahead and, pop here to, kind of this past week. Now, first time playing on blue turf?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a little different, huh?
Yeah, no, blue turf, it was different. I had to adjust the eyes, well, I don't know. It was weird. It was cool though. It was cool. It looked nice.
It was. Now, I mean, they had some cool facilities. Good stadium. Good atmosphere. Definitely get to be unique, kind of playing on a different looking field. But so here we are in the third quarter. So you've kind of gathered a little bit of information throughout the past game so far. What are some things that you learn about a team throughout the week in preparation?
For this past week, what I did was I watched all their pass plays. And on the back of our formation sheets that we give out, I wrote down each pass that they did per formation and each concept they did. They didn't run every formation, every pass concept we had on the paper, but I know some ones they were running on us. They kept running the same 4 over and over again. So as this play, this is the third quarter, this is the third down. So the first 2 quarters, they ran basically the same concept every third down, where the outside receiver would run like a 10-yard stick turnaround. But we were in cover 4 every third down, basically, including this one, actually. But I told the guys, I said, I'm not going to lie. I told the safety, Ricky, and this one, I said, I'm jumping it if he runs it again. I told him, if he runs it again, I'm jumping it. Without a doubt, I'm going to run up on him. I said, if they run past me, you got to cover me, but I'm running up for this. So basically, that's pretty much what happened. I'm sitting about 9 to 10 yards off because it's 3rd and 14, so I'm like, they can't do too much. Either they're going to take a shot or they're going to throw it short, and I'm like, I got enough guys to come up and make a tackle.
Yeah. For sure, yeah. So, I mean, the volume that you got to prepare for is massive. And then, obviously, like you said, as you get into the game, they're not going to run every single play they have in the playbook. I mean, you just can't do that. There's not enough plays, to do that. But then you kind of get that flavor of, all right, what are they liking this week against what we're doing? Maybe what's worked for them, what hasn't, what are they going to go back to? And so you said, okay, you've seen this a couple times already at this point. It's in the third quarter, and they do exactly what you thought they were going to do here. So, receiver runs about, that 10-yard route or so. He's ready, and right as that ball releases the quarterback's hands, man, see you jump that, and then boom, get right in front. So, as pretty awesome. So now, ball's in your hand. Hey, now where are we at?
Okay, so I initially bobbled the catch. I don't know if you can see, but
that's why you're a DB, not receiver. Yep.
I come back and grab it. So when I look up, it was kind of like a couple weeks ago. I saw open field at first. So then I'm just kind of doing a little try. I'm not even really breaking out. I ain't even tuck the ball. I'm thinking it's a walk in. I look back up, it's not a walk-in. It's actually a guy in front of me talking me down the whole time. But so when I saw him, I was like, okay, either maybe I can beat him there or I got to make a move. And I was just deciding back and forth the whole run. I was kind of just looking back and forth. And towards the end, I finally decided, I should make a move. But by the time I got there, he was already there. So that happened.
Yeah, definitely got to see that ball get tucked away right there, baby. That's a Dion thing right there. Can't have that. But yeah, working right there to the goal line, and I know you said after the game you got a text from a couple of your old teammates. What did they let you know at this point?
They told me I got to score.
I think you were just trying to set Dietrich up for his second touchdown.
So
there you
go. Got to feed the family.
Without a doubt. But obviously, it was a good play. In a big moment, those third downs are really critical downs, especially for defensive backs. But every play's important, but just the heightened awareness on those downs really important. Excited to see how you take that and continue to develop throughout the year.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, appreciate Zaire being on with us. Obviously, great talking with him, kind of hearing his perspective, kind of on things, and man, excited to see him continue to make plays, throughout throughout the season here.
Yep, the king of jumping hitch routes.
Without a
King
doubt.
of jumping hitch routes.
Keep doing it.
Yep,
Keep doing it.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, so turn the page here to Bluffton this week. We travel out to Ohio, middle of nowhere, Ohio. We've been in the cornfields of Iowa. We've been in now we're going to go to the cornfields of Ohio. And
Sure.
crazy the Midwest is really about the same no matter what state you go into. But this is I think going to be a great matchup for us. Bluffton is a team that's they've got some really good players. Impressed with their coach and staff. What they've done is they've built their program over the past couple of years as well here too. I think as we turn on the tape from this week, I know we said as we were watching defensively, they're a fast defense. They play that 3-3 defense. With 3 high safeties. They fly around. They try to bring a ton of pressure. What are some things that jumped out about them on film to you guys?
For me, they're very aggressive, but I think that kind of just aids into their playing style. They play a fast, physical brand, and they're not going to change it up for nobody. They're going to do what they're good at, what they believe in, no matter what. They got this little package where they kind of blitz the house and they man up everybody on the perimeter. So that's really tough to go against, but it's also fun to try to figure out how can we beat that. Sometimes they show a drop. We'll drop some guys off the line of scrimmage and get back into a zone type of look. So for me, it's just finding those tendencies, trying to see when can we tell if they're bringing everybody or if they're dropping off. They got some athletes in the secondary. They got some experience. They got a couple young guys getting some opportunities. So I'm just excited to go out and compete. Those guys, like I said, they're fast and physical. They're aggressive. So I like playing against aggressive guys. Sometimes they make mistakes, and we got to make them pay for those. So looking forward to competing with these guys again.
I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head with everything I was going to say too. One thing I was going to mention that you mentioned too was that 7-up, trying to go against that, trying to figure out the tendencies for it, and just how to beat it. Obviously, it worked pretty well against us last year. It's not a lie. So I'm excited for that challenge this week.
Yeah, most definitely. Offensively, they've done a really good job running the ball this year. Their outside zone game, they've got a really good running back. Up front, a lot of big dudes on the line. They've done well there. They've done well on some perimeter screens. The pass game as well too. And so excited for another challenge. Our defense has been playing pretty well this year, and I think this will be a great opportunity to show that on the conference stage as well. And so looking forward to kind of all facets of the game as we continue to just grow and develop. And we've 4 weeks into the season, and this is true no matter what level of football you're at. You start to kind of figure out who you are, and obviously you come in with kind of, hey, here's what we're going to do on offense, here's what we're going to do on defense, on the special teams game, but you then continue to adapt and adjust, and while you don't really throw things out and wholesale change, you adapt and mold it around the guys, and as you see who's the guys that are stepping in and making plays, as you see the guys that can really be trusted in different situations, and you start to kind of form things around them. It's been been good to see how our team operates, and continue to kind of push that kind of through our conference season here. So,
like you say, it's figuring out what our guys do well, and for guys to step up and show what they do well, and some guys step in new roles or getting opportunities in some different positions, and thriving, which is allowing us to kind of do things that they're good at and mold our offense around our guys' and skill set. So that's a fun part of it.
Yep, absolutely. As we get into conference play too, start to feel like fall outside. Finally get a little bit cooler. Leaves are starting to change. Man, it's football season at this point, which is awesome. Today as we record, 1st of October. Obviously this weekend will be kind of the first October game as well too. Whether it's the NFL level, college level, a lot of people are wearing the pink, kind of representing breast cancer awareness, kind of other different awarenesses as well too. And so shout out to DeMarco Cooley's mom. Providing some wristbands for our guys to be able to wear and support as well too. Whether it's guys that are affected, family, friends, people that they know and love affected by different forms of cancer. It's cool just to be able to represent and support and play for them as well too. And even some of the things that that we talk about, the wristband that these guys will be wearing. You are not alone. It's like together we fight. It's a lot of the same things that we talk about. Kind of as a team. team, and whether it's helping people fight through again the really hard things of life, health issues, battles with cancer, whether it's helping each other fight through mental struggles, through academic struggles, just through the day-to-day of a college football season that can be tough. I think a lot of times it does come that it's like, man, we're gonna do this together, and as you say, it's like we're gonna be better together.
Yeah.
And so, excited to kind of get to represent and support, in those ways too.
Yeah. And I remember just growing up watching NFL games in the early 2000s, seeing all the pink stuff on, and that's what my mind instantly came to. So yeah, I love this cause. Obviously I was affected. People in my family were affected by breast cancer. I've had friends that were affected. So obviously, really good cause.
You guys got any memories from any games from this time of year, like the October breast cancer games?
Ooh, like personal games or like games I've seen?
Yeah, like games that you played in.
Yeah, every year, my high school, Holly High School, shout out Holly High School, they would do a pink game. Okay. So we would pick a sponsor and we'd get pink jerseys and you'd wear their last name on the back of it. Okay. And I was able to do it for my grandmother and my godmother who both had cancer. That's so tight. It was a really cool thing. Lost the first one, which is a bummer, but we ended up blowing out the team in the second one. So that was a really cool experience.
For me, October, I got a few games that pops in my head, but for me, this would be the time where I play my worst football.
Get a little colder outside.
Yeah, when the weather starts to change, I get to dropping balls and in my head. But when I was at JUCO, we had a game. Our quarterback threw 4 interceptions and 4 touchdowns, and we won that game.
Jameis Winston game.
Yeah, that was fun. But my most memorable game was in high school. We played a program out in Michigan called South Lyon, and these guys came to our game, and our head coach didn't want to let us wear all this pink. He was against it, but the captains, they kind of talked him into it and everything, and we got whooped. We played like crap, and he just ripped us apart in the locker room, and it was just bad. It was bad.
So you have some rather not good memories.
No. I mean, they in the moment they were bad, but at least I won one of the games. Yep. So kind of like you, 1-1. Yep. But it was just everybody put so much into looking good and the pink and everything's pink and this. So we kind of got sidetracked, and I think that's the number one reason why Coach really got ticked off. It's like we're not focusing on the game. We're trying to look good. Everybody's pink spat and pink tape and pink towels, and it's like, we're put on some pink. You don't got to be, the whole uniform don't got to be pink. Put on some pink, represent, and go ball out. So, but I'm excited for this part of the year. Like I said, just because the league's changing, it's fall. Football's a fall sport.
Yeah. So campus looks beautiful in the fall too.
Man, this campus.
Nothing beats campus in the fall.
Without a doubt. Yeah. I think this middle of the year, I think is the mental toughness comes out in football in the middle of this season, because there's so much excitement early on in the year to start a football season. Everybody's wired, ready to go. For the young guys, it's hey, this is a first taste of college football. For the old guys, maybe hey, this is our last first game. Whatever it might be. This middle of the year stretch, is where guys are hurting. People are banged up.
Yep.
People are tired.
Yep.
And you still got to come to work. Doesn't matter the situation. We got to come. We got to be ready to go. We got to still prepare with the same, intensity that we were preparing, week one. We've still got to do the same things that we do, and continue to do them better. And I think the mark of good teams, mark of great teams, mark of mature teams is they get better throughout the year. They don't stay the same. They continue to take steps forward, and that's the mark of a mentally tough team. We talk about wanting to be the toughest team, and I think that we'll see that as we continue to put in the work. Are we growing in that way of being the toughest team and growing that way? And so I'm excited to see that. It's always interesting to kind of watch teams, whether it's your team or you can watch it, kind of at other teams, kind of from afar, whether it's in conference, even the teams on TV, that are playing, the NFL teams, the Division I teams. You could tell on game day who are the tough teams that keep hitting throughout the season, who are the tough teams that keep working on the fundamentals throughout the season, and who are the teams that start out hot and it's like, those teams been on the practice field at all this week, or what are they continuing to put it in, or do they pack it up because bad things have happened in the first couple of days, or do they kind of start to ease back because man, things have been great, like we're good, like. No, you got to be relentless in going after the things that are in front of us. And, we've got our big season goal that we've got to continue to focus on of just developing. And we've got the week-to-week goal. It's like, can we put the same amount of focus every single week? Not looking behind because, we can't control anything that's happened before. Like, we got to focus on what is in front of us right now and the effort that we're putting in. So, I'm excited about seeing that and just seeing us grow in those ways.
Yep. And kind of piggybacking off what you said earlier, you should know your identity by this time, or you're starting to figure out your identity by this time. And I think speaking for offensive guys, right, you got to keep getting better week in, week out because so many teams have film on you now. So it's important to kind of keep growing, keep molding, like kind of like what you were saying, keep molding around the guys that you have and keep expanding off of your offense. Because if you just kind of stay with what you're doing week after week after week, I mean, the results may vary. So just keep growing in those ways and keep molding around the guys that you have, kind of piggybacking off what you said.
Awesome. Well, yeah, excited to keep going now, keep showing a little bit, of us kind of throughout the year. And, we're excited to get back with y'all next week and hopefully recapping our first conference win of the season.
Yes, sir.
God bless. Go Ravens.
What's up, guys? It's Zaire Prioleau here.
What's up, guys? This is Connor Huffman.
My name is Leonard Rand. What's going on, guys? We're going to drive in.
How y'all doing? This is Tone.
We're playing What's in the Box.
Guess we're finna play What's in the Box.
And this is What's in the Box. And we're doing
What's in the box?
All right, here we go. What?
This is small. This one of those phone like fingers.
Off the pad. I know the little back part, right? Hold on.
It's like one of the mini finger phones. Yep. They have bigger ones than these. Cab gave them. I don't know where the heck this came from, or what even you're supposed to do with this, but yeah, I have no idea. It's like a finger. I'm doing it. Oh, go team! Shout out Anderson. Go Ravens.
Okay. Oh, is it? Oh, this is one of them little finger thingies. Is it?
Let's go.
Oh. Like the technical name for it? Foam finger?
Yep.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah, there you go.
Do I have it on there?
Yeah.
What is this? It look like Man, you got me pass. Man, I could've.
This is easy. That's a mini football phone. Oh, got pulled out. Yeah. Sick helmet.
Helmet.
I feel like a helmet. Yeah, we need to get these. As you said, we need to get mini helmets. Alright.
Oh, that's a football.
Yep.
That's a football. It's the AU. Oh, that's the AU. Is it the white one?
Yep.
I'm gonna be a little aggressive with this because I don't want whatever's in there to hurt me back. You feel me?
Do you feel him, sir?
It's like a helmet or something, right? Okay. Hey, you helmet? Okay. We like this.
It's a stuffed animal. Stuffed snake.
Oh, I know it's snake.
It's not moving. It's not scared of me.
What is that?
It's a snake?
It's like a snake. Yeah. Back here. It's a stuffed animal of sorts. That's a snake.
cornhole thing.
Ooh, it's got like a kickstand, I think.
Like one of those sandbag toss things. Yeah. I can't think.
Cornhole.
Cornhole, yeah, there we go. So these are the cornhole, little mini cornhole things you got to touch.
Cornhole board?
Yep.
Sick.
Is this the little hacky sack thing? What's it called? Cornhole. Cornholes. That's what it is. Cool.
Ah!